welcome everyone. We're so happy that you're here. We're looking forward to hearing the many great sponsorship ideas you have to offer. We really appreciate your willingness to share your ideas with your peers, especially now as we navigate the COVID and post-COVID waters and are working to advance our chambers and communities in new and different and innovative ways. So glad to see all of you here to join in that discussion. We have such a great time at this session at convention that we just had to present it. We could not put it off for a year. We had to do it virtually. We're so lucky to have a wonderful sponsor, YGM, here with us, with Jason Eby, and we're really happy about this session and excited about getting started. To judge this session today, first we have Sydney Doctor. Sydney is the Director of Events at Greater Louisville Inc., and she deals with all things logistics and content for the Chamber's 70 events a year. Starting as an event coordinator 7 years ago, she continues to grow in her leadership role and loves learning innovative ideas and being pushed outside the norm when working with Chamber events. Her favorite GLI event is the Chamber's Intercity Leadership Visit each year, as well as their new Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion program of events. Sydney presented a really popular ACCE webinar on sponsorship strategies in the spring of 2019, and also presented at our 2019 events conference on strategies to revitalize Chamber annual meetings, including creative ideas for sponsorships. Sydney's a member of ACCE's Events Division Advisory Board. Welcome, Sydney, and thank you for being with us today. Rosa Cavazos is Vice President of Resource Development and Events for the Greater Topeka Partnership. She's been with the CVB and the Chamber for 8 years and started the Events Division 5 years ago. Rosa has created, developed, and implemented events such as the Kansas Chocolate Festival, the LGBTQ Equality Bridal Fair, and an upcoming D&I Summit, as well as a number of other events ranging from the hundreds of attendees to over 25,000 attendees. Rosa is a new member of our ACCE Events Division Advisory Board, and we are so glad to have her aboard. So thank you for being here, Rosa. And then finally, Omar Cuevas is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce, the second largest chamber in the state of Michigan. Omar oversees revenue generation for the organization, along with the customer experience and the Chamber's marketing efforts. Omar has a background in finance, having an 18-year career in the financial industry. As a member of the Grand Rapids Chamber executive team, he's influenced organizational priorities of inclusivity and belonging, Omar is a new member of our ACCE Membership Development Division Advisory Board and is the reigning champion of our 60 Sponsorship Ideas in 60 Minutes competition, having taken first place honors last year at our Long Beach convention. So thank you, Omar, and to all of our judges for participating today. Next, I would like to introduce our moderator and our sponsor for the session today. Jason E. Eby, IOM, is the Principal Consultant and CEO of YGM Total Resource Campaigns, LLC. Jason has a passion for Chamber of Commerce and has been leading chambers for nearly 2 decades. He believes in the positive power and influence chambers can have on their communities. Jason joined YGM Total Resource Campaigns in 2012 and became CEO after he purchased the company in mid-2015. Because of his travels and his work with chambers across the country through YGM, Jason has the pulse of changing trends in chamber management and fundraising. He understands the needs of chambers and their members. His knowledge base easily translates into moving groups of new volunteers to be dedicated chamber advocates. He's able to provide chambers with innovative approaches to fundraising and how to move towards greater non-dues revenue that may have never before been experienced. Jason has the U.S. Chamber of Commerce's Institute of Organization Management, or IOM, graduate recognition, and he's working towards his master's degree in nonprofit administration and management. Jason's been the president and CEO of 3 chambers, ranging from chambers where he was the only staffer to those where he supervised 7 staff members. He also led the government relation and communications divisions of another chamber. Jason enjoys navigating life with his wife, Brittany, and their 4 children. So today's program and the prizes we will award are due to the generosity of YGM, and we truly appreciate their support. Jason, thank you so much for your sponsorship of this session and your support of the chamber industry. And now I'm going to hand the program over to you.
Well, thank you so much, Susan. It's great to be with everybody again, even though we're having to do it virtually. You know, sometimes you just feel like you're together when you're with chamber folks. In that regard, I will tell you, as we were looking at registrations, and already 325 people are with us today. So we were looking at such a great group, especially as we continue to grow this. I think this is the 4th year in the recent history of ACCE that we've had it, and we've been fortunate enough to be with you each and every time. It's just kind of a natural fit for us as we live and breathe sponsorships day in and day out with chambers all across the country. And of course, as we come to this time and this place, and not being able to be together in Dallas just a couple of weeks ago, we are all coming to find the dollars and to find the sponsorship aspect. And when we look at COVID, it has changed so much. It's changed our landscape. It has changed our organizations. It's changed our budget. It's changed our program of work. There has been so much that has just changed in the last 4 months, but other things have not changed, and I don't think that they will. We are still a membership organization. We still have a mission. We still have programming to put into the community, and more than anything, we still need money to operate, and that of course comes in this vein of sponsorship. So cannot wait to hear all of the ideas that are going to come forth today. We had over 600 registrants for this meeting, so I know others will begin to come on, but even if just 20% of you offer an idea, we will go very quickly today in our 60 ideas in 60 minutes in that particular aspect. So we can't wait to hear from you. I know you were chomping at the bit, but do want to talk to you a little bit of how this process is going to meander so that we can absolutely get the best information from you, and that hopefully some of you will take away some prize money back to your chambers or to a nonprofit of your choice in your areas. But as we start, we'll have a timer for 60 seconds, 1 minute. So if you would, please start with your name and your chamber along with your chamber size. We prefer members and or staff size. If you can get both of them in real quick, that will just help our judges along. So you will, the 60 seconds starts when you start talking. So get that out rather quickly. You've got 60 seconds to give one idea. However, you could do multiples. Many of you have been very intuitive and innovative in this process of COVID. So you might have other opportunities and ideas that your chambers have created. So, but you just need to come back in. You'll need to allow somebody else to go, raise your hand again, and Emily will let you back in that particular process. Even though you start with your name and your chamber size, just because of this virtual aspect, and we're sure the chat box is going to just be lit up with a lot of activity, we would ask as soon as you wrap up your 60 seconds, if you would go in the chat box and type your name, your chamber, and any contact information you would want, but specifically if you wouldn't mind putting your email address there, maybe somebody would email you rather than a lot of follow-up with the chat. So feel free for that. When you do give that idea for 60 seconds, it is a very 60 seconds, very short time. So give a brief snapshot of that idea and that thought process. Many of you might want some additional information, but we're not going to do any live follow-up questions today. We'll do all of that post outside of this particular aspect. What we will also say is for those of you that are offering ideas, this is a chamber-centric program. I know we've got some ACCU vendors on, but these would be ideas from chambers and what they have created with sponsorships. And those ideas can range. I mean, we're talking about sponsorship ideas, so it's not necessarily maybe a event or item that you've created, but think maybe virtually or a hybrid opportunity. Think about maybe it's an idea of how you've moved sponsorships from one avenue to another during this COVID time, or maybe from an in-person event to a virtual event. So it might be about more of the benefits that you have given in that particular aspect. Maybe your idea is how to engage with the sponsors better, how to secure more involved and entrenched sponsors for your chamber. Maybe it's an aspect of this is how we present our sponsorships to our members. So maybe a guide or a program that you use to get sponsorships. So anything related to sponsorship, it doesn't have to be necessarily a sponsorship category that you might go. So you have all of those opportunities as we kind of navigate this virtual world, instead of you all coming to a microphone as you've done for the last few years. And then, of course, as these ideas are offered, we've got our three judges in the back. They will be determining our leaderboard by these particular ideas or kind of a rubrics, if you would. So the transferability or scalability of the idea that you're offering. Sometimes people will offer something, but there's just not necessarily some growth opportunities there. Or can we transfer it from a larger chamber maybe to a smaller chamber, or a smaller chamber to a larger chamber? The revenue that you have raised. So you don't always, of course, depending on the idea, have to tell your dollar amount, but if you've got it, that would be a great item to offer. They will be considering the percentage growth. So if you've done something at one level and you enacted something else and it raised your dollars, they'll be considering that. Just the creativity. Is it something new? Is it something fresh? Is it something innovative? And then, of course, as always, we've given them kind of the wiggle room to look at some other measures to determine just sponsorship success in your chamber. So know that all of those opportunities will be available to you. And as you offer that, we not only know that in this chamber world, we all live by rip off and duplicate to grow each other's chambers, but you know, it'd be fun to walk away with some dollars as well. When we are at a location and we give away those cash prizes, you know, it's good for networking afterwards. But we wanted to do something a little different in this particular world that we now find ourselves. So the prizes are a little higher than they have been in person. First place will walk away with $500, second place $300, third place $200, and you are absolutely able to donate that to a community nonprofit of your choice in your name, or for sure of any of nonprofits in the world. We need to take advantage of our tax status as chambers this day and age, since we weren't included in the PPP program or the EDIL. So feel free to allow that community nonprofit to be your chamber and go to yourself. That is okay. It's okay to be selfish in this. We want good ideas to raise our dollars, and if you get a little cash along the way to help your chamber, absolutely, in that particular aspect. So that's what we are looking for today. Again, Susan mentioned early on, you know, we are up to nearly 350 now. Many of you don't have your cameras on, and that's okay, but we would ask that as you go to announce your idea, if you would, just so that we can see you in that process. And it doesn't matter what you look like. We all understand COVID has been the great unifier. We all understand cats are in our background, kids are at our feet, and you know, we're only dressed from the waist up. That's just what we do these days. So in that particular case, we would like to see you. So with that, we are going to start. So if you have an idea that you think would benefit your fellow chamber peers, just click that raise your hand button and we will call you out. I already see some coming in, so we're going to see who was first, and Emily will let me know that in that process, and we can't wait to hear your ideas. So I'll wait for the first name. Josh Suter, come on in and give us your idea.
So my name is Josh Suter. I work for the Chamber of St. Matthews in Louisville, Kentucky. We're about 1,260 members with a staff of 3. Our idea is our St. Matthews Street Festival. And what we did with that event is we partnered with Maker's Mark. They paid us a pretty good sized sponsorship. But the coolest part about this particular partnership with them is that Attendees paid a $35 fee, and all that money came back to us. But with that fee, they were able to get a signature cocktail, a bottle like this that was dipped with their picture in it. So they got a takeaway from our event, and we made money off of the event. And makers got to sponsor the event and be our signature spirit during the event.
Perfect. And he didn't even take a full 60 seconds. That's awesome. We might can fit some other ones in there. Thanks so much, Josh. Now I look at Angles. Is that the right? Angela, maybe? We'll see. You know, texting and coming through.
Good afternoon. It's Angela. I'm Angela Rose with the Harford County Chamber of Commerce. We have 600 members and a staff of 3.5. Because of COVID, we had to transfer a military appreciation luncheon that we host for our Army base back in May to August. And of course, we still can't have that in person. Secured sponsors who purchased seats for themselves, but then purchased seats for soldiers. So what we have done is transfer the meeting presentation piece to a virtual format using Microsoft Teams, where we're going to recognize the Soldier of the Year, the NCO, all of that presentation. But their sponsorship dollars got transferred to boxed lunches that we're going to be able to distribute outside in a logoed bag from our title sponsor with somebody else who provides an attendee gift. That'll go right in that bag with the boxed lunch. So it's great scalability if you want to do teachers, you want to do emergency personnel. We are really looking at doing this in the future to thank some other of our first responders and whatnot as we go forward, and people are happy to sponsor.
Perfect. Perfect. Great timing there. And sorry about autocorrect, Angela. You know, sometimes, as I said, technology, it's fun. Izzy, come on in and give us your idea from Little River.
Hey, I'm Izzy with the Little River Chamber of Commerce in South Carolina. We have about 300 members and 2.5 staff. My idea is actually just transferring your usual stuff over. So if you're still having an expo or other large event where businesses would usually give out free pins and cups and other logo items, instead having a virtual swag bag. And the way I envision that is creating a web page that is secret, and you limit it to no more than 20 sponsors, because that would just be overwhelming for participants. And instead of those logo items, they give a lead magnet. So like for a realtor, it might be 10 things you need to do to your house before you sell it. And then the public has to give them their email address. So that's what a lead magnet is. So they're still generating warm leads from your event.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Good ideas there. And love the background that you've created there. Good sponsorship opportunities if you're not doing that right there. Andrea, what do you have from Saratoga, sorry.
Saratoga Springs, New York. I'm Andrea Cole. We have about 1,700 active members in our membership. We have 10 staff members here, and what we did for Zoom meetings, which I just changed my virtual background, we did virtual background sponsorships. So with that, we had $2,500 from this lawyer here that actually did a virtual background sponsorship with us. So I am the VP of the events and marketing. So I was on all of the webinars and all of the small business meetings that we did. So they actually got some exposure that way. And then we also had a federal credit union also pay a $2,500 sponsorship to as well. So they would actually stay up here for a few weeks, and that's how we were starting to raise money that we normally would have gotten from our mixers.
Perfect. Thank you for that. I'm telling you, you can always look through virtual opportunities and find something new. So Jennifer, what is your 60-second idea?
Hey guys, I'm Jennifer Branch. I am with the Greater Waco Chamber, and what we did, I focus on workforce talent and education initiatives in our existing industries, but it was kind of twofold. So annually we host what we call a life fair. So you could kind of think of it like a job fair. It has a find your tribe, find your career, find your space, and find your flavor type event, a very large event, outdoors, indoors. And since we are probably not going to be able to do that this year, one thing that we wanted to do was add some extra value for those sponsors from last year. We also launched a talent portal. It's WacoTXJobs.com, where it's kind of like the Indeed for Waco jobs. And so if you are a sponsor or a featured company on our talent portal, we pivoted to you immediately during the COVID crisis, especially if you were hiring, and we did a job spotlight series. So now they are highlighting them. They get to come on for 15 minutes to talk about their organization. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Good opportunities there. Nikki?
Did you say Vicky?
Nikki.
Hi. Hi, I'm Nikki Nickel. I'm with the Lake Havasu Area Chamber of Commerce. And we are as I'm sure you guys are, a very social chamber. And unfortunately, right now, we can't do that and have 200 people at a mixer. So instead, we started doing online socials. They just weren't the same. So we actually moved to an online trivia night. And we actually did, because we did a survey out to our members and they wanted more advertising during this time. So we did Guess That Logo, and we take their name out of the logo, and they would actually pay to have a question in this trivia. We also had all of our prizes by a title sponsor. So we had a $100 prize out, gift card to a local restaurant because we wanted to support the restaurants. That was paid by our sponsor as well as their sponsorship fee and all the questions inside. And if you guys want a really great resource for doing things like that, canva.com, it's free. So you can actually set up slideshows, you can do online marketing and things like that. It's great to put your sponsor logos in, CAN.
Great. Free, you can't beat free. And absolutely, you know, a lot of people we have heard from over the course, you know, online networking, it just, so love how you've found a niche to still have that networking, but there's still a viability there for sure. So thank you for that. Britt? Oh, you're muted. We'll give you your seconds back.
I was fighting with you. Sorry, Emily.
That's okay. We'll give you your seconds back. Go ahead.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am Britt Delo with the Michigan West Coast Chamber of Commerce. We have just over 1,200 members and 7 on staff. One of the events that we hold monthly during our program year is called Wake Up West Coast. And there are usually 250 people and there are great sponsorship opportunities for that event. So sadly, we're not going to be able to host those for the foreseeable future. So what we're doing is we're launching a new program called West Coast Live, and it's going to be an interview podcast style event that we're going to record right in our studio at our chamber. And we're going to bring the sponsor in and do an interview with them and allow them to share their story and news that they want to share with our community. So we're kind of filling twofold. We're going to give members that same feel of our monthly breakfast, but from home, and give that sponsor an opportunity to really do a deep dive interview with them.
Perfect, perfect. Great ideas there. Rachel?
Hello, I'm Rachel Romig. I'm from the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance. We have about 350 members and 16 staff. We're an alliance made up of an economic development partnership, funding, and then the chamber. Our annual dinner is upcoming in September, and we shifted it to virtual and kept all of our sponsors by creating videos about the platform we're using, Remo. So lots and lots of videos and walkthroughs. And to give added value and really boost our members, we created a physical swag bag, and we'll be delivering these in bulk and then have a contactless pickup day. We're including a bottle of wine from one of our members and then a gift card to one of our GRCA member businesses, restaurants, so that they can still have dinner and drinks on us and we can support our members and still bring together the community. We're also pre-recording the top 50 awards ceremony. So we will have a hybrid piece and we'll be recording that in advance and playing it that day, as well as doing some live on air.
Perfect. Win, win, win all the way around. Sounds like a great plan. Thank you for that. Colleen?
Hi everyone, my name is Colleen Skipsey. I am the program manager at the Michigan West Coast Chamber of Commerce. Hi Britt, that just spoke, my coworker. As she mentioned, we have 7 staff members and just over 1,200 chamber members. And one idea that we have is, you know, we did a lot of webinars right in the beginning and people had fatigue from Zoom. So, you know, they're not listening, they're not wanting to spend 30 minutes. So what we've decided to do is we've launched a new series called our Member Question of the Day. And so this is a short 5-minute video where it gives an opportunity for us to interview a subject matter expert. And we've covered everything from health departments to mask wearing to, you know, funding and whatnot. And this is a great new sponsorship opportunity that gives more exposure. And we also turn it into a blog, and it's posted on YouTube, and it's shared via with all of our members, usually in our weekly as well.
Perfect. Great idea there. Mitzi.
Good afternoon. Mitzi McCormick from the Halifax County Chamber of Commerce in Virginia. We have about 365 members, 3 on staff. Our chamber is the organizer of the Virginia Cantaloupe Festival, has been for the last 40 years. It has been very sad for us to have to cancel that event this year, but we have created a Virginia Cantaloupe celebration, of which we will offer cantaloupe party packs. Those come with t-shirts, vouchers to restaurants, a voucher for cantaloupe. Our distillery is making a special cantaloupe whiskey cocktail for us, tasting glass, discounts, coupons to local businesses. We have still brought in quite a bit of sponsorship for that. The festival normally raises $45,000, and right now we're on track to raise about $35,000 with sponsorship still coming in. So thank you.
Thanks, Mitzi. That's the first 10. We're off to a great start. Y'all are doing a good job. And I'll say, you know, just kind of springboarding there from Mitzi, you know, the dollars are still out there. You know, maybe some things that have changed is maybe the people that are sponsoring, but there are still opportunities to get out there and find those right sponsors. So let's continue with the ideas and get some more. Michelle.
Yes. Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, hi. I'm Michelle Delaney with the Robbins Regional Chamber in Warner Robins, Georgia. We're kind of like the pit of the peach here. We are a membership of 750 and 4 staff members. And really the sponsorship I wanted to talk about first was a few weeks ago, we had a member call us completely frantic because they had an employee test positive for COVID. They had no idea what to do. What we did, we have Chamber Master. We put together a blog post on Chamber Master, kind of step by step of all the things business owners should be doing and be aware of whenever they are processing an employee who has COVID, and as far as cleaning, etc. I reached out to our local ServPro, who, if you don't know, ServPro is doing COVID cleaning, certified COVID cleaning, and we got them on for a $2,500 sponsorship for the web page. So just for everyone.
Perfect.
Go to ServPro.
That's perfect. Well, and using those opportunities that present themselves in a different way, absolutely. Doesn't always have to be about an event, can definitely be about a service that we provide. So great job there. Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa Vance with the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce in Richmond, Indiana. We have just over 500 members and 4 staff. And my idea is we currently do a Community Improvement Awards luncheon every year in September, and we recognize businesses that have made external improvements to their properties. That said, we cannot socially distance or meet any of the mandates this year, so we've decided to create a publication that highlights all of the businesses that meet the criteria for that. And so we're taking all of our sponsorships that we've already sold for that in-person event, and we're reallocating their dollars to advertisements in the publication that will get mailed out.
Perfect. Sounds like awesome. Vicki Keebler. Where are you, Vicki?
Can you see me?
I cannot see you, but I can hear you.
I'm so sorry, Jason. Hey, this is Vicki Keebler from the Barrow County Chamber of Commerce in Georgia. and I have absolutely stolen this idea, and I'm putting it in force right now. You know, everybody puts the sign. I went out to all my businesses and had each one of them hold, "Thank you for doing business," you know. And when I'm doing that, I had 3 restaurants come up to me and say, "We want to do this and we'll pay you." So what we're going to do is we're going to let them all pay, but the money that they're going to pay is going to go to help with the employees of the hospitality industry that are out of work, because a lot of ours are still out of work. So that's what we're going to do. Everybody's going to hold one word, and it'll be about 35 words. So I've got 35 restaurants that are going to participate.
Perfect. Awesome. And I will say to her, thank you so much, Vicki, in that aspect. You know, again, money's there. Who would have thought the restaurant industry, you know, you would not want to go to the restaurant industry now and give money or ask for money because they're hurting. But yet, if your sponsorships are truly advertising and marketing and helping their business grow, it is amazing that the money is still there. So let's not assume for our sponsors that they can't afford it or it might be a hard time. It might be absolutely that light at the end of the tunnel that they're looking for in that particular process. So Sharon Worley, come on in and bring us another idea. Is she here?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
All right. Okay. It's Sharon Worsley from the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, based in Toronto, Canada. We have 135 chambers and boards of trade as our members that represent about 60,000 businesses, and we have 28 staff. So the idea is regarding membership. In talking to a lot of chambers, they're having problems with keeping members. So the idea is that they can have other members sponsor new members or existing members. So it can run in 2 ways. You could have people donate $10, $50, whatever, and create a pool fund and then help either reduce or take care of the entire cost for a member. Or you can have maybe a larger company that decides that they want to sponsor a complete membership, and then they can decide whether they want their names known or they want to do it quietly. And so you can work out different ways to create your membership.
Perfect. Paying it forward, what we need to be doing more and more of in this day. So absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Andrea Cole, come back on in and give us another one.
Okay, there we go. Andrea Cole, upstate New York, Saratoga County Chamber. So who did really well during the COVID-19? Businesses with banks and also alcohol. So what we did team up sponsors with the alcohol industry, with some of the distributors and also the distilleries in the area. And what we did, we made recovery kits. So we donated about 500 of these to even non-members with us. What we did, we put them in large containers, signage of wearing your mask, where to stand 6 feet behind your people at cash registers, and hand sanitizer, and also a group of masks. So we actually did that for free for members and non-members, and that has actually turned into conversion of the prospects becoming members because of it. So that's where we got the sponsorships from the distilleries to turn them into new members.
Perfect. I tell y'all what I'm loving about the Zoom aspect versus in person is we're seeing product. Y'all are able to show things, and you know, usually you wouldn't bring a 5-gallon bucket to ACCE convention. So there's great positives in this, and I think that's part of showing that to even our sponsors that might be a different venue, but there are absolutely great positives. Good one there. Thanks again, Andrea. DeJuan.
Great. Hey, everyone. My name is DeJuan Claiborne, President and CEO of the League City Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're in League City, Texas, and we have around 600 members. And so I have started an event that's kind of went virtual, and a lot of chambers have been reaching out. So we call it a virtual chamber auction. And so how it goes is when we talk about restaurants, we basically send out a blast, hey, who wants to donate? So restaurants, we tell them a minimum of a $50 gift card. So some do 50, some do 100. Why? Because it then drives that foot traffic back into their establishment. And so basically the very first one, we made like $2,700. The next one we did $4,600. The last we did $6,600. So the increase is more than 50% each time. So now we do them the last Thursday of the month. And again, it's been like chambers from all over been reaching out to me because I'm on the chamber professional group on Facebook, and those have some other good ideas. Thank you, Jason, for putting this together.
Absolutely. An event that keeps growing. That's what we always love, success in both, money and as it happens in time and time again aspects. So thanks for that, Dewan. Christina. Oh, hold on. I got to know. Sorry. Kylie. We're going into Kylie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kylie Lash. I'm with the Chamber of Commerce of Sandusky County. We have a little under 350 members, and we have 4 employees here. So this is a new idea for us. We are actually doing a streamathon. So it's a big fundraiser. We're going to have sponsors be MC of the event. They also get featured in each of our updates. We'll do hourly updates throughout the day. So that's just a big event that we're starting up, and it's fully virtual, and it's somewhat easy for us to do. So we're also bringing in local talent and highlighting all the things that the chamber does for the community.
And did you call that a streamathon?
Yes, we're calling it our streamathon.
Great name there. Thanks for that. Deb from Vegas.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Deb McCary. I am from the Vegas Chamber. We have about 4,000 members when you include our Vegas Young Professionals, and we have 35 on staff. And I'm sure like most of you guys, when this COVID thing hit, we didn't know what to do about some of our larger sponsors. We've done a grassroots effort to reach out to them, meet with them, virtually, of course, and to repurpose their sponsorship dollars, which we've been highly successful with, including getting some to upgrade to sponsor such things as our video series. But the idea I wanted to share with you today is that we had a lot of unused space. We had also a partnership with Workforce Connections through the state, and we had another partner who wanted to give us dollars so they could have some career and growth counseling go on and get their brand out. We are finalizing that. Let me just tell you, that is a huge sponsorship deal that we have put together with this sponsor. They're going to get recognition and brand exposure through us, but we've been able to marry those 3 things: take our space, repurpose it, so we can have a one-stop shop where our members can come in and get workforce help and sponsorship help as well.
Right. Thanks, Deb. Win, win, win. That's when it always works the best for sponsorship, and it's not just one-sided. Way to pull in a lot of different elements there. So thanks, Deb, for sharing. Now going to Pam Shelton in Oklahoma.
Hello?
You're here. I got you.
Okay. Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Yukon, Oklahoma. We're home of the Yukon's best flower. So we took advantage of our silos that we have here in town, and we did seniors on the silos. And all 600 of our seniors from our 2 high schools were focused onto the silos 3 different nights from 9 to 11. We sold sponsorships, and we had a sponsorship card that was in between every 25 seniors that were sponsored. But we're going to take this and next level next year, and we're going to do a drive-in movie that was a movie that was produced here in Yukon with Yukon kids and adults. We're going to put that on the silos next year and have our own drive-in movie, and hopefully we'll be able to be out of our cars and be in lawn chairs. But we had people every night, new members. A lot of parents realized what the chamber did. That was it. It was great. Thanks.
And what I love about that, and I think we all need to be thinking about it, is not just how to get sponsorships now and help our funding now, but how can we take those ideas and continuing it years. So love to hear the idea that we're going to keep this going in a different format, but still send you dollars. So good job there, Pam. Randall Chase down in Texas.
Hey everybody, this is Randall Chase with the Cedar Hill Chamber, and we have about 250 members, and I've got one additional staff member besides myself, and we are working on a couple different projects. One, we are taking our Taste of Cedar Hill, which last year we had 4,000 people at it, and we're doing the Taste of Cedar Hill to go. We're going to be taking all of the vendors and spacing them out at least 10 feet each booth, and then the cars will just slowly drive through. It's you pay per car, and then they get a chance just to hand out those samples and goodie bags there in that capacity. That way we're still socially distancing, but yet still being able to participate. We also are working on a drive-in movie option as well. On the back side of our building, we've got a large open air parking lot, and so we're gonna be doing chamber night out at the movies. And instead of our traditional chamber night out, and give the opportunity for sponsorships at the very beginning, like you would in a normal movie theater. Businesses can put their advertisement there as people are pulling up. And we created these fun signs that you can come pick up at the chamber. And there you go.
Perfect. What we do, love those visuals, and again, doing some of the same things we've done, just repurposing and re-looking at them in a different way. I think that's one of our ways definitely through this recovery period. Thanks for sharing those, Randall. Stephen Brockman.
Hey, Jason, thanks for helping out with all this today. This has been very, very informative. Stephen Brockman at the Greater New Braunfels Chamber of Commerce. We've got about 1,600 members and 17 staffers. That includes our CVB and our EDC as well. So we're one big happy family. I was not prepared to become a high-tech redneck at the beginning of all this. So we took it old school. We have a business trade show that is not only one of the biggest parties in town in the fall, it also provides a lot of impact to the businesses. And when we realized that it was going to be really hard to bring almost 2,000 people into our civic center, we decided we needed to push people to the businesses' doorsteps. So we partnered with our local community newspaper, and we've created a magazine that's going to go out at the end of August. And it's basically going to look like a who's who of New Braunfels businesses. And each person can come by our office, pick up a bag that we got sponsored that has a little check-in challenge. So
they can't come to us, we'll go to them. Way to work that around for sure. Okay, let's see who is next. Thank you for that, Stephen. Absolutely. Nate Phillips.
Hi, everybody. Nate Phillips from the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce. So shout out to Omar, one of the judges here. So happy to be a part of this today. Thanks, Jason, for being a great moderator. Our chamber has about 2,500 members. We have about 21 staff members right now, and we are just, boots on the ground doing the best we can for our community here. But my thoughts are more towards a diversity, equity, inclusion lens to be able to support that type of a sponsorship. And easiest way to do it might be a book club, getting people together through that way, being able to create like a branded lobby and a waiting room for those organizations that want to come in at that bigger sponsorship level. And then they'll also be able to showcase what they're doing for diversity, equity, inclusion within their chamber and within their workforce as well. Some other opportunities would be, creating a raffle bag or virtual bag takeaway that might be sponsored by the source that gave us the books, the study, and then the sponsors will also be able to weigh in on the fact of what book to read.
What I love about so many of these ideas that we're hearing is, it's not necessarily some things that we are accustomed to seeing in the chamber world, but they might be hip and fad and trendy all out in the other world, and to bring them in and repurpose them and find value for us and our members. What a great way. So we look forward to see what books y'all are going to use there in Grand Rapids. Would love to see that list. So thank you so much, Nate. Beth Morrison.
Hey guys, thanks Jason and thanks Susan so much for pulling this together. It's such a great opportunity and I see a lot of faces I know. So hey guys, love you. So good to see everybody. Something that we've done recently on our social media, we are very, very chamber centric. We don't share opportunities for people to put their message up. We don't sell any of that until COVID. And we started a member minute. It's $50 to purchase. You can do everything in-house yourself to do that. It was created to do a value add because our sponsors are yearly sponsorship sales, much of what we couldn't fulfill. So they got, depending on the level they bought, X number of videos in that format. $5 to create the starting piece that does the whole video. And then we've gone ahead and sold those for $50 a piece to anybody who wanted to purchase one a la carte. So it's been a nice little thing to offer.
Absolutely, absolutely. Some good revenue there, Beth, for sure. Thank you so much. Gina Martins.
Good afternoon. I'm Gina Martens with the Greater Lehigh Valley Chamber of Commerce in Pennsylvania. We have close to 5,000 members and a staff of 30. And what we've done is we've created a new event series called Lehigh Valley Game Changers with our president and CEO, Tony Iannelli. These are exclusive interviews, one interview per month with Tony Iannelli, with visionary Lehigh Valley leaders who have significantly impacted and influenced their businesses and brands with game-changing strategies and innovative leadership ideas. And for $12,000 as a sponsor, you can own the series. We will give you a chance to present opening remarks at each one of these exclusive interviews, or we'll play your 1-minute video. Of course, that sponsor will have logo presence throughout each one of those series. And if you know our president and CEO, Tony Iannelli, he is across all platforms. He has a TV show, he's on the radio, he's on billboards, he's on social media, and that sponsor will be across all of those platforms. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Katie Harwood.
Hey there, I'm Katie Harwood with the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for putting this together today. It's been a lot of good information. We've had a lot of really fun ideas, but my favorite most recently is that we have taken our Coffee and Connections event that was in person and moved it virtually. And we've actually utilized breakout rooms for this and have a trick. If you make every attendee a co-host, they can hop from breakout room to breakout room as they choose. So we had people come in, they sponsored each breakout room. We named those rooms after those coffee shops, and they were able to have representatives inside of those rooms to chat with attendees. And you could essentially hop from one shop to the other throughout the hour. So it's just a great way to expose several sponsors at once while still being really interactive with our attendees.
Absolutely perfect idea. And, you know, coffee chats, bringing in coffee vendors as sponsors, perfect opportunities there. Thanks so much, Katie. Michelle Delaney again.
Hi, I'm back again. We started 2 streaming programs that we stream both on our Facebook as well as in a group that we have on Facebook. One of them is called Robin's Works and one of them is called Robin's Live. Robin's Live is done with our president and CEO, and Robin's Works is done with me. They are about half-hour to 45-minute shows. The Robin's Works is business owners solving problems, not selling products. And then the Robin's Live is the community leader kind of angle. But so what this has opened it up to is 2 separate markets. So one who wants to sponsor the series can do Robin's Live. Those who want to get in front of potential clients, but not necessarily pitch their products, but tell people how they can solve their problems, come and talk to me. So we have 2 different ways to market and to categorize those individuals and collect that money.
Perfect idea there.
StreamYard. If you haven't heard of StreamYard, get StreamYard.
Perfect. Thank you. Just in time, too. Perfect. And I like 2 opportunities there, talking to 2 different audiences. I think in our sponsorship minds, we have to get into the mindset that people sponsor for different reasons, and it's not just the products that we offer or the audience that we might think, but we really need to have that conversation, or at least have different options for them to reach different ways. So good opportunities there. Tina, what do you have for us?
Hi, thank you so much for putting this together. My name is Tina Fuhrer. I'm with the Southwest Indiana Chamber. We have 1,500 members. And what we do is we publish once a year a Keep It Local directory and magazine. It's a glossy magazine. So no matter what, if you're a chamber member, you are listed in this program, in this directory, and we actually print out 20,000 of these and distribute them around our community to households and businesses. You can participate, and we have sponsorships from the 110 range all the way up to the $3,500 range. And we normally bring in about 30 to 40,000 on this product. So it's been really great. Something we added this year was a multicultural section. This section promotes all multicultural businesses for free. If you're a multicultural section, you reach out to us and we will list you at no charge. And we found a sponsor to promote.
Perfect. Love so many different areas there. We got about 10 minutes to go. Have had some great opportunities. We're close to 30, so we're about halfway there, but I think we've got about 10 more in the queue. So we are going to see where that takes us, but we've got about 10 minutes. We want to be respectful of your time. We've got about 30 minutes left in our hour-and-a-half block that we let y'all know, and we, of course, want to let the judges go out to deliberate, to come back in and let it go. So we have a couple of different options for you, but just wanted to let you know we've got about 10 minutes to go with some opportunities. We'll go through these 8 and see if there's any other time. But to kind of kick us off there, then let me see. Deb from Vegas coming back in, giving us another idea.
Deb dropped off. Do you mind if we go to Erica next?
Absolutely. Erica Hawkins, come take Deb's place. Just one quicker.
I can surely do that. Hi, everyone. Thanks for all the great ideas. So I just wanted to come on and kind of talk about a membership sponsor that we kind of have come up with. I am from the Lima Allen County Chamber of Commerce here in Lima, Ohio. We have about 800 members, but I will say about 80% of those members have 10 employees or less. Now, Jason, earlier you mentioned that sponsorship money is still out there. There are some businesses that have been doing well throughout this time. What we have thought about is reaching out to those hospitals and bigger businesses that have not closed down and have still had that income coming in, and ask them to be a membership sponsor for one of our smaller members with 10 employees or less who cannot afford to pay the dues right now. We have given our members the opportunity to make payments on the membership dues, but unfortunately there are some that just don't know what the future is going to hold and if they'll be able to do that. So reaching out to these bigger businesses and companies who have been able to stay in business and asking them, hey, give us $250 and we can pay the membership fees for another small business in the community to keep our economy going and to keep the money here locally.
Thanks so much, Erica. Nikki.
There, Nikki Nickel, and I neglected last time to tell you we have 3 full-time employees, 2 part-time, and we have about 800 members. Thank you, Jason and Emily, for everything and hosting this. Great ideas, everybody. My first idea was actually going to be one that Sharon Worsley and Emily Hawkins just said. We actually had member sponsors, so I'm going to move on to a different one. We did a full blanket campaign when we first opened back up. Now we're not open back up, but we went and delivered over 100 of these signs to businesses all across town. We have like that Main Street complex. So we ended up going north, south, and all these other places. You see these signs. We actually had our ambassadors deliver 300 of these within 2 weeks. And they are, thank you for your commitment teas with stash mint tea and mints. It's 110 degrees out here, so you can't really deliver cookies. And within 2 weeks, they actually delivered those. The great thing about that is we had those businesses come back and go, wow, you guys are all over, you're active. We hit social media. With sponsors coming in, we have a annual sponsorship sheet that I take with me everywhere. And I'm like, hey, if you want to give back to us, here's all the ways you can through this next fiscal year.
Perfect. Great ideas. Thank you for that. Jane.
Hi, this is Jane from Milwaukee. We have a couple, it caught me off guard. We have a couple ideas. We have our traditional awards program for high growth company was called Future 50. We've done it for 25 years. We pivoted to call it Focus on the Future, to look at companies that are experiencing new things, new products, new ways to help the front lines, people. There's several different categories. I did post it into the chat, so you can check it out, but we do have that award. It's going to be virtually in September. The second one we do is called Race Bridge. It's our young professionals group, our YP group called Fuel Milwaukee. And what we've done is have meaningful conversations with different people in the community about race relations in America as well as locally. So it's been very powerful. We have it on Zoom and then we put it on Facebook Live, and it's about 1,000 views each. So that is sponsored at $5,000 a month. and it's done really well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for those. Christina?
Christina from the Pasadena Chamber in Texas. We have about 600 members and have 5 staff. And so for our webinars, we created a sponsorship level that included a VIP meet and greet. So in addition to the branding recognition, we invited the keynote speaker to come 30 minutes early and sold sponsorships for individuals to be able to connect with them one-on-one in a smaller group setting. And so instead of just being talked to, they had an opportunity to introduce themselves. So it served as networking, but they paid for the time in front of the elected officials. And then we're going to leverage that to our constituent connection access to advocacy event and do breakout rooms and sell those rooms for our next event.
Perfect. Thank you. Easy.
I just wanted to speak real quick for those that feel they're technology challenged. If you're doing videos, don't be afraid to jump on Facebook Live, Zoom. You can see my background. This was made in Canva for free. You can do it too. And then don't be afraid of pre-made videos. We have members that have submitted cell phone footage. That's great. Or even Chamber Speak. I am sharing a YouTube link. Chamber Speak charged us $200 and the logo included. My sponsor paid me $500. So we covered more than the cost of having those made for us.
Perfect. Thank you for those, Izzy. And it looks like we might end where we began. Josh Suter, come back in, I believe, for the last one.
Thanks. So Josh Suter, Chamber of St. Matthews in Louisville again. We did something kind of fun with our annual meeting. They're always themed. And as a part of that theme, we sell table sponsorships where they can decorate the table to the theme and incorporate their logos and their promo products. With our annual meeting coming in January, we're going to have to shift that a little bit. And so we're going to have watch party boxes that are going to be delivered to tables of 8. And then they're going to have inside of those all of those promo items that they normally would get from one of our table sponsors. And our table sponsorships have gone over really well, and we've been able to bring that theme back together even more each year. And we've had everything from an 80s theme, a 70s theme, and even a movie theme, and they've loved it year after year after year.
Perfect. Perfect. Sounds great. Well, thank you for that. We didn't get quite to 60. But we do want to be respectful again of your time. So we are going to wrap that up here. We are going to allow Emily to kick our judges and Susan to a breakout room. I don't know about you chamber folks, but you know, it kind of gives me a thrill to be able to kick people out and bring them in and kind of be in control. Any of you chamber people have that control aspect there. So we're going to give them about 5 minutes to go and deliberate. I'm sure we've had many of those through the years, and listening to them deliberate how they think is always a very interesting aspect. But while we're doing that, what I'd like to share with you all is just some other maybe general sponsorship things, maybe talk to you just a little bit about YGM, you know, sponsor getting to speak a little bit in that particular case. But what I would tell you is, and from all of those ideas, I mean, I'm glad I'm not in the judging group. I will tell you that. So many good new innovative ideas, and I think it shows us the power that's within us. So many times as chamber professionals, I think we get on the same track of we've always done it that way, and it's kind of easy, and we're just so used to it, so it's day in, day out. But when we're forced to think, and when we're forced to dream, and we're forced to innovate, it shows us that we can do that. And quite frankly, when we do that, and as each of you talked about your sponsorships, what I definitely saw was smiles about it and energy and enthusiasm, because you relayed that to your sponsor and your sponsor relayed that back to you, that they were so appreciative of you creating something in that regard. And so what I would tell you in all of sponsorships, it's really sales, and sales is really the transfer of energy. if you really boil it down to it. So you are showing that sales do have a lot of value there. And so as we look at that, don't be afraid to just innovate now and kind of get into 2021 and do it a little differently. And then kind of go back to that. Always begin to feel fresh and new. I routinely say many times when it comes with sponsorships and benefits both, that they have to change for your sponsors to find value in them. They actually might be the same thing, but they've got to be portrayed in a different way. Of course, we travel a lot going across the country from chamber to chamber and helping them build out their sponsorships and their benefits. And then, of course, selling those and getting more sponsorship dollars than they have really realized before. But in those travels, you know, I'll go into a candy store or a convenience store, and if I want a candy bar and there's some dust on it, I'm out of there quick. Candy bars aren't meant to stay there long enough to get dust on them. And so I know they haven't moved. And your sponsorships have to be the same thing. They are a business product for you. It's not a philanthropic give. It's a business product for you. So they have to be ever evolving as your business market is evolving. So with that, I will say, you know, in this kind of judging lull, if you've got some time and you haven't yet, I'd encourage you to follow our Facebook page. You can just put in Facebook at YGM TRC and find us. We will be releasing here by the end of the week information on a workshop, a webinar that we're going to be putting together, well, that we're going to be sharing with you all about really how do sponsorships look in 2021. If they've ever looked differently, they need to be different in 2021. And we'll take a little bit of walking you through how your fall will look in 2020. So if that's something that you're interested in, we'll have some registration information up there by the end of the week. But we'd love for you to follow us, even if you're not interested in the workshop and the webinar, opportunities that we have there of just kind of talking about sponsorships through the year, really. We are constantly giving you updates and ideas on what we see and kind of highlighting even some of you as we talk to you throughout the country. So you want to think about that. A couple of things that kind of I was making notes as many of you were mentioning. One thing I would say, I love the Zoom backgrounds. The Zoom backgrounds absolutely put the sponsor's logo in front of all of these virtual people. And again, it's about the perception. Sponsorship is not necessarily about what we think it's worth, but it's the perceived value of what the sponsors perceive it to be worth. That's how you price a sponsorship in that regard. So them seeing their logo matters. I would tell you, you know, part of us learning technology and go through that if you do a lot of Zoom backgrounds, invest $10, $15 for a pop-up green screen just right behind your chamber office desk. It's not a lot of money, but what happens is you don't have a lot of in and out. If you don't have that green screen, sometimes your Zoom logo that you put for your sponsors can kind of be distorted. So it will just make it kind of more clean, kind of a little bit better presentation for your sponsor in that. So just a little tip for you there. The other thing that I would tell you, and Izzy mentioned it early on, is don't be afraid of virtual. Don't be afraid of technology. Don't be afraid of video. The one thing that I would share with you is our members want us to be relatable. Hello? Green screen for each. I don't know how many of you can see here, considering we have 273 people on here, but it's there. So definitely think through the relatability. If you're doing something that's easy, maybe it's not all the way polished, your members will respond better to that because they can do it too. The first thing a member sometimes will say is, you know, well, I can afford what the chamber does. They don't know our budget, of course, if they say that. But in that particular aspect, they would be able to kind of follow you in that aspect. One sponsor, and I'm sorry, I did not write it down, but somebody was talking about Facebooks and Facebook groups and that they were really chamber-centric on their social media. I think that's very positive, and I think you need to be, but there is value in setting up community groups that you manage. So many examples out there of chambers doing that, where that can be a revenue fund just in a group. So you don't take away your autonomy in social media, but in other places you are able to find some money while sharing the community information and, quite frankly, creating a tribe. I can't tell you how many chambers we have talked to over the course of the last 4 months that have said, we have become the news source. People are joining us. Membership is still rising for us just because they find that we are the ones that are connected. We are the ones that are giving valuable information. We're the ones still here keeping the economy going as much as we can. So you can monetize that. And every opportunity, you kind of want to take the silos down in your chamber, and that it's not other people's divisions or it's not other things that we do, but there is opportunity to go through there. I'm counting on Emily and them to tell me we're ready. So I keep looking for my flag there. But just in case, as I kind of wrap up this little portion for you, we've always gotten the questions of, well, what is Total Resource Campaign, YGM? How does that work? We comprehensively go through all of your sponsorships and your benefits, finding money that you might not have ever found before and things that you're currently doing. So as we kind of build out an inventory for you, then we show you how to recruit some of your volunteers in your communities. And when you go, oh, volunteers, I had those. Well, former chamber exec, there were some ambassadors I didn't like, if I'm honest with you. So I understand the volunteer aspect, but truly we are looking for a new crop of volunteers. In a TRC, if the volunteer recruitment is done correctly, you're going to have about 50% of the volunteers you have never seen before. So you get a lot of new people in, but it really reaches into the masses to get your information out there, to get members engaged. Because one thing that we all know, if our members give us more money than membership, they are far more engaged. If we can find ways that, whether it's communications or whether it's leadership programs or whether it's a nonprofit consortium or whether it's our events that we do, if they give additional dollars, we know they are more attached as members. So it's not necessarily just looking about the big dollars, which we find for you. It is definitely looking about the masses and getting your membership more engaged. In a good TRC, as you start off in the initial year, about 80% of the people that give money and sponsorship have never given up and beyond their membership dues before. So it's a lot of real new money. So that's kind of a nutshell of a TRC. Would love to talk to you offline about that. But in the process of, COVID, it is a unifier. What I would definitely tell you is use it as an excuse should you need to. If you're a little trepidatious about changing something up, whether it's a sponsorship, whether it's an event, it's one of those things. Do it. If it doesn't work, hey, it was COVID. If it worked, you've been thinking about doing that for a couple of years and been working on it hard. So use it to your advantage in that particular aspect and go out there and find those sponsors. I will mention, are we still good, Emily? Are they still deliberating? Okay. I will mention, many of you talked about restaurants. Many of you talked about, how they're really just surviving, but thriving, some of them as well. We had a client in the Pensacola Chamber of Commerce, as many of you probably did, created a bingo card for those Facebook groups and said, go out and spend some money, knock off something, take a picture, we'll do a drawing, all of that, just to encourage the participation of dollars and the free flow of dollars into our economy. But it showed that when they sent that out, it was very general. Go to a sushi bar, go to a wing shop, go to all of those. It was not specific companies. But when they sent that out, they got calls back from the restaurant saying, we appreciate what you're doing, but can I be the logoed sushi place next time you send this out? So again, you had restaurants ready to spend dollars. And I think so many times really what stops the sponsorship dollar or the sponsorship flow for us is that we're just scared to ask. We're scared to make that, or we make that assumptive no, that assumptive answer. Well, there's no way they could say yes. They absolutely could, and they absolutely would if it's the right product. So you want to think about that. What I would tell you about pricing right now, I would highly discourage you from making lower pricing than what you normally would. Our members, humans in general, have a very short memory. And so if we go during this COVID and say, well, we would usually do this for $1,000, but now we're going to do it for $500 without any statement, you're going to go through COVID and the recovery period at 500. And then when you're ready to go back to 1,000, they're going to go, well, you just jumped up 500. It's never been that high before. Well, it had been, but they had forgotten it. So what I would encourage you to do is use kind of the marketability that all other businesses do. It's $1,000, but we'll give you a promo code, whether it's COVID or help or whatever it might be, for $500. So it's only $500 now, but they're seeing that it's always $1,000. Don't just start slashing prices in an effort to help, because while you might be helping them, you're hurting yourself and your organization in the long run. So always offer your sponsorship, always offer your programming, always offer your events at the price they always were. That great example of, well, we're not in person, but we're going to take the dollars that we would spend in food and put in on gift cards to go back into the community. A good way to still keep costs the same and a distribution of opportunity there. So are they still deliberating? Do we need to go shake them up?
Oh, trust me. Trust me. I'm closing their breakout room right now. They just wrapped up. So they now have 60 seconds to finalize it. But while we're waiting for the judges to join us, I'm going to go ahead and share some of the upcoming events and our recommended viewing for the awards ceremony.
Absolutely.
So, if you followed along with our first viewing recommendation where we asked you to view in speaker mode, please view in gallery view. And how you do that is you toggle your mouse and by your exit full screen, and right by that you should see gallery view with the cute little bubbles or the cute little squares. Please click on that, and that will be the preferred viewing that we recommend.
Because we want to see all of your faces when you go, oh, I won and took some money home.
Yes, exactly. But we have a couple of awesome upcoming events. We have a jam-packed end of summer and fall, and we do not want you to miss it. For instance, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, there is a webinar on community events in the world of COVID featuring the amazing folks at the Conway Area Chamber. On August 18th, we will be starting up our regular events division roundtable calls. This will be an open forum roundtable. Bring your thoughts, bring your challenges, and bring your best practices. We want to see you there. On August 19th, there will be a webinar on affinity programs, providing revenue and member value. On August 25th, there will be a membership development division roundtable again. Our new chair has been specifically planning this one out himself. I don't want to try and give it a little too much for it, but he has an awesome roundtable plan for you. And then the event of the fall, if I do say so myself, will be ACCE's Future of Chamber Summit. It is our first virtual summit like this. It will be September 29th through October 1st. Be there or be square is all I'm gonna say. You're gonna be missing out on some amazing future focused content if you aren't there. And then last but certainly not least, for all of you that are trying to go through virtual events and hybrid events and how do you do events and all of that stuff, well, look no further. November 5th through 6th, we will be having our first virtual events training conference through ACCE. So, without further ado, I am going to hand things back over to our judges.
Here they come in. Are they all here?
They're all here, I hope.
I believe we are here. Our judges are here.
They are here. Well, we know it must have been hard for the deliberations. So we just can't wait. I wish I had a drum roll or something, but who is going to announce our third place winner?
Well, we actually, Jason, I believe the judges have an honorable mention first, and we'll do that, and then we'll go to third place. So Rosa.
All right, so great job, everyone. This was definitely very tough. But our honorable mention is going to go to Nate Phillips. In regards to the book club that is being done. We think that that one is very transferable You can not only do it with D&I, but you can also do it with marketing. You can also do it with event books. So there's just so much flexibility. I'm really excited, and I would love to be part of your book club. So let me know when that happens, because that was actually a great idea. So Nate wins our honorable mention. So thank you very much. I also get the pleasure of announcing the third place. All right, sorry, Susan. So again, these were really hard, but our third place winner is going to go to Colleen from Michigan for the member question of the day. So thank you very much. We thought that was great.
Thank you.
$200 coming your way.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you for sharing.
All right, I think Sydney, are you doing second place?
Yes, I am. And just like Rosa said, great job, everybody. I wrote down so many notes, and we'll be stealing these and duplicating, as we say. So thanks so much for all of your suggestions, and also just great work on keeping you know, the momentum going during this kind of crazy time. So without further ado, we would like to present the second place award to Randall Chase of Cedar Hill for his Taste of Cedar Hill to Go, the drive-by and pick up samples event. We love the idea that he stayed true to the actual event and is still holding that in person, albeit with social distancing, you know, recommendations, and that he is still, you know, really promoting those local businesses. So congratulations, Randall.
Yay!
Yay, woo! And the reigning champ is now ready to hand over the reins to the new champ. So Omar, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Again, from the 2019 champ from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'd like to bestow this to the idea of the day. And you know what? We need to have some walk-up music. Everyone, let's cheer on Andrea Cole from Saratoga Springs.
Wow,
those hands up.
There she is. Now, Omar, which award, which idea was it?
Oh my gosh, the background, the virtual banners, so easy, plug and play. Everyone get this idea going at your chamber. They got 2,500 from each of these plug and play banners right here. We're all doing virtual events. Let's pivot. Let's not sit on our hands. Let's make some money. There's money to be made out there. Again, congratulations. Awesome idea, Andrea.
Thank you very much.
And I hope to put this on you at the next
Do I get
event.
a gold medal?
Yes, I think you should. Right, Jason?
As far as I'm aware, absolutely. I don't get to put it around you, but we'll figure out how to get it to you for sure.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for your ideas. We really do wish. I mean, there were so many of them. Again, I'm glad I was not a judge myself. I couldn't imagine, you know, marking it off and all that fun stuff. So thank y'all all for joining us. And I will say, I mean, there's still an overwhelming amount that have stayed to the end. I wish we could give like prizes for those of you that stayed this whole way and not was like, peace out. So, but with that, thank y'all judges for your willingness to serve here. And Susan, I'll turn it back over to you and Emily.
Okay, well, let me just see if I can add my congratulations slide here. There we go. Congratulations to all the winners and to everyone for participating. Such great ideas and really, really appreciate it. And I will get in touch with you winners about the prizes. And again, congrats all. Also remember everyone that I will have a recording of this on our, I don't know why there's a mark on that slide, but in any event, who knows, Zoom, weird. So the recording will be on our ACC webinar page. You can click on there. I'll also share these slides. and a transcript will be posted on the 31st. And by the way, I'll post chat, but if you want to download the chat right now, you can. Sort of go to the lower right-hand corner, hover over the 3 dots, and click, and you'll download it right away. So I know there was tons of details, contact information, URLs, lots of stuff there. So it'll be up tomorrow, but you don't have to wait till tomorrow. And let's see here. And before I say goodbye, I need to say thank you again to our wonderful sponsor, our fantastic moderator, Jason. You know, this was made possible through your generous sponsorship of the program, and you did an awesome job. So really appreciate your partnership and your support of Chambers during this time of challenges. So
thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. And you can learn more about YGM on the various links. We have Jason's email, website, and his Facebook page, and his phone number. So we will have all of this also with the recording, so you can get in touch. Just want to make sure you have that info, and thank you again, Jason.
Absolutely.
So I think that's it. So have a wonderful afternoon, everyone. Thank you for participating. We hope to see you at our future roundtables and webinars. Thank you, judges. It was a really hard job. And we will see you at our next ACCE virtual event. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.